What is going on, guys? Elite here, and welcome back to the channel once again with a brand new episode. And today, I'm going to talk about 6 things new Siege players need to know before getting into the game. Starting off with number 1 on the list is that Rainbow Six Siege is an intimidating game but provides a highly rewarding experience. When new players look at Rainbow Six Siege for the first time, they'll most likely be intimidated by the sheer amount of content the game provides. Currently, there are 20 maps in the game and 56 operators to choose from. That alone can scare off new players. But I'm here to tell you that even though it's an intimidating game, over time, you'll realize that you didn't have anything to worry about in the first place. Everyone starts off somewhere, and over time they'll grow as a player and play the game with no worry at all. So the game is intimidating and scary, but how is it rewarding, you might ask? You will definitely learn a lot in this game, from how the operators work, the callouts, and the map design. Each and every operator is intricate like the maps, and they are very complicated to learn, but the more you play, you'll become familiar with their roles and how they function. During a match, always walk away with a little bit of new knowledge from the game. Every time you die, whether it be a bullshit death or someone getting a pick on you, there's always something to learn. And that's the beauty of this game. There's always something to learn. And even now, I'm still learning how to peek corners quickly, how to be more aware of spawn peeks, and what not to do and what to do in certain situations. After every match, you will be left with satisfaction or a sense of defeat. But that sense of defeat will drive you to continue forward onto the next match, where more experiences await and new things are waiting to be uncovered by you. That's the highly rewarding thing you get from Siege. That's everything you learn from it. Number 2 on the list is that you'll have your good moments and bad moments. Good moments can be getting your first 4K or ace, getting funny kills, or just flat out winning a match. And there's bad moments. Well, I still got them. Bad moments can be losing a match, dying to a spawn peek, or choking a round that was easily winnable. But that relates to my first point. There is something to learn from that. The longer you play Siege, you experience moments that you think shouldn't have happened, and you'll experience moments that you want to relive again. You'll soon realize that these bad moments are a part of Siege, just like the good ones. Siege is intricate, where disaster or victory can happen at any moment, at any time. Sometimes, those bad moments will make you want to drop the game completely, but remember the good moments you got, and remember there will be more. So don't get discouraged after you die in a match. Instead, use that death to fuel your drive to keep on playing to get those good moments. Number 3 on the list is the first operator you choose will not be your main. When I started playing Rainbow Six Siege back in Operation Dustline, the first operator I chose was Ash, and I thought I was going to main her, simply because of her versatile loadout. Her powerful R4C and her 3-speed status is literally the only thing that hooks in new players. She's fast and a high-end fragger. But the thing is that the longer you play Siege, you'll develop your own playstyle and end up choosing another operator that fits that style. You need to play all the operators in the game to really decide who is actually your main. Take the time to delve into the intricacies of each operator and discover what suits your playstyle. Are you an aggressive player who likes to dive headfirst into battle? Then maybe operators like Ash, Bandit, or Jaeger are your top picks. Or are you a conservative player who stays behind and helps support the team to victory? Then maybe Thermite or Rook are your picks. The thing about hard locking onto your first operator and not choosing anything else is that you neglect your own growth as a player and completely ignore every other operator there is to choose from. And plus, another player in your team might pick the same operator before you, and to you, that sounds like a real bummer. But in a sense, that's a good thing. Force yourself to play different operators, and who knows, you might be attached to another operator other than Ash. Number 4 on the list leans towards more on the hardware aspect of things. A lot of people don't know this, and I didn't even know this until a couple weeks ago. Rainbow Six Siege is a CPU heavy game, meaning Siege will make your CPU work a lot and hard. So for those PC players who don't have high-end PCs, at least make sure your CPU is capable for achieving above 100 FPS, and trust me, you're gonna need it. But you might be asking, what about graphics? Don't they matter in Siege? Actually, you'd be pretty surprised to hear that a lot of players in PC Siege use low graphics settings to achieve the most frames. In a competitive game like Siege, you're going to need frames over decent looks, and there's virtually no difference between low and ultra settings. So when you get into Siege, it's best to set everything at low graphics to achieve the best frames possible. Unless your PC really is high-end and it can achieve both ultra graphics and high FPS, then I say go for it. In my personal experience, however, I have to deal with it the hard way because my CPU is basically 8 years old. So it's always a good idea to save up some money for a decent processor like the Intel i5 or the i7 in order to have a smooth gameplay experience. Coming up on number 5 on the list is that Ranked is another experience by itself. There's a majority of the player base that is basically obsessed with hitting the higher ranks such as Gold 1, Platinum 3, or Platinum 1. And while I'll do another video on just ranks at another time, I'm going to talk about the game mode Ranked itself. Ranked is Siege's competitive mode with 3-minute rounds with the matches going up to 9 rounds in total. Unlike in Quick Match and Unranked, both teams are competing to rank up, It's another experience because of how much faster and aggressive it is than in quick match or even unranked. Ranked can be stressful, especially for new players. The developers at Siege have locked the game mode to players under level 50. Until then, you're stuck playing quick match or unranked. In my opinion, I think you need to spend more time playing casual or even unranked before you even think about hitting ranked. Ranked has players that are straight dedicated to winning and gaining ELO, which is the MMR points you get in order to determine your rank. I hate to see new players dipping their toe in the water that's starting out for the first time and get immediately trashed by toxic players or better players. So step back from ranked a bit, gain more experience before learning the competitive side of Siege, and once you feel confident, head right in. There's a video I made almost a year ago detailing how to win your ranked games. Go take a look, the link's on the top right of the video. And finally, at number 6 on the list, we have the one hard truth about Rainbow Six Siege, and that's you can't win them all. Veterans and maybe even professional players know this. Much like to what I said for number 2 on the list, Siege will have good matches and bad matches. There will be days where you'll be on an awesome winning streak and days where things become bleak and hopeless in the midst of constant defeat. But that's the thing about Siege, you can't win every single match you get into. If that was the case, I'd be diamond at this point, but instead, I'm still gold 1. Believe me, I wish I could win every match I get into, but that would completely take out the whole learning aspect of Rainbow Six Siege. Sure, some defeats could be utter bullshit due to hackers and server failures, but other defeats you encounter can hold a lot of knowledge for you to use. Those defeats have a lesson in them, and it will explain why you lost. But don't worry, there will be days you'll be on a 3-game winning streak, I'm sure of it. Anyway guys, that's going to conclude today's episode detailing 6 things you need to know before getting into Rainbow Six Siege. I hope these helped you realize some things about the game and that you'll carry on to it. Let me know down below in the comments if you agree or disagree, or that you might want to add it to the list. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment your thoughts below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. Barb, can you get my refrag once if I die?
No, I can't. Don't do anything yet.
Hey, can
and
you
have diffuser, you have diffuser.
Join over there, join over there.
Got one, that
Alright,
worked.
man.
That fucking worked. Holy shit. Rewatch that.